Welcome to today's practice. We are breaking down the alignment for Warrior 2, how to build energy in your own body. So especially if you are feeling tired, lethargic, you just don't have the energy to move, we start to cultivate that energy in our own body. So you can do it either a few minutes a day. You can take this practice and just do a few minutes a day once you get that energy cultivation down. So we work on that, which is fun, as well as alignment for a half moon, which is my favorite pose. And I just noticed I gave that away, and there's a prompt midway through class for you to guess my favorite pose. But now you know. It's half moon. So I'm really excited to share this class. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and make sure you send this to anyone else who you know loves to practice yoga. And yeah, I would love to share some free yoga with all your friends. So thank you for being here and being my friend. So welcome to today's class. Start near the front of the mat. So if you have the low back issues, feet hip width apart, otherwise big toes together with your heels a little bit apart, and just pressing into all four corners of your feet. So what that really means is, can you press down through your toes, pick them up, spread them wide, and then press down? And then also, can you feel into not just your heels by pulling your weight back, but can you try to feel on each side of your heel? And it might be a bit tricky, but again, this is just a practice in how we build awareness in our own bodies. You may not feel exactly like, oh, I feel the left side of my left heel and the right side of my right heel, the left side of my right heel, but just kind of notice whatever you do feel. What would it be like if you could feel both sides of the backs of your heels? And then all the way along the outer edge of your foot, can you feel that press down? Can you feel your big toe mound press down? So when we're talking about the big toe mound, we're not just pressing through the big toe, but this knuckle right here. Can you press down through that joint? Don't mind me falling over. Can you press down through that as well as the outer edge of your foot? And really ground down through both feet. Take a really deep breath in through your nose, lift up through your chest. And as you open up your mouth and breathe out, settle back down in through the feet. So we start to have this grounding connection. So we're kind of reviewing from month 1 when we worked on the breath, where we inhale, lift up through the heart, and breathe out, ground down into the feet. So we always have this energy line flowing where our inhales lift up and lengthen, and that breath out really grounds us right back down. So even though we're working on alignment today, we're going to be still working with the breath, and we'll see that pattern movement. The inhale to lift and lengthen, and exhale to hold strong and stable. Let's kind of jump right into the movement. Last week we did our push-up. So if you are unfamiliar with the low push-up sequence or how to hold in chaturanga, I recommend going back a week, catch up on that, and then come back to this when you are ready. If you are familiar with chaturangas though, let's go. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, look up at your thumbs, and when you breathe out, bend your knees, stick your butt bones out to the back, and fold forward. You can start to draw your belly button to your spine as you like. And then at the end of your breath out, relax through the back of the neck. So this is our first one. We're just going to hang out here and stretch through the backs of your legs. Breathe in, find a halfway lift. See what you feel stretching in your legs. And can you use that inhale to pull your heart forward? Once you get that length, on your exhale, again, bend your knees. Butt bones are going up to the sky, just so that we're getting that pelvic tilt. So our forward fold really comes from the hips versus our spine. And then our spine can relax. The back muscles can relax down. Stay for about 2 breaths. And if you need your hands on blocks or a chair, that is a perfect way to do forward fold. No worries about wherever your hands go. Just kind of notice, observe, feel, and breathe. 2 more breaths. This feels good. 1 more deep breath in. Deep breath out where you are. Pressing into all 4 corners of your feet again, really firm. Draw the belly button to the spine. So we start to squeeze through the core as we pick ourselves back up to standing. Reach up, look up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Perfect. Breath in and out to reset. Inhale to lengthen. Find a little bit of energy. Exhale to ground that energy in. So when we start to talk about our energy patterns, this is when we can find a little extra energy. Even if we aren't feeling energized, we can come here. Even if you only do the beginning 5 minutes and you just breathe and lift up through the chest, this will help energize your body. And then instead of leaving us frazzled and high energy, we use the exhale to ground back in through the feet. Let's do one more breath. I said we'd only do one, but now we're on 3. That's okay. Breath in, breath out. This inhale is going to reach your arms forward and up. Look up at your thumbs. On your exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, fingertips to the floor. When you need to breathe in, find your halfway lift. Remember, we're getting all this length through our spine, similar to our high push-up. And even if you need your hands on your shin bones to extend, perfect. On your exhale, bend your knees as much as you need, plant your palms, step back to that high push-up that we practiced last week and the week before. So now we're pressing strong through our palms, our hearts pulling forward, and our heels are reaching to the back. So we're strong through the legs, the core, and the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, downward dog. Lift your butt bones up and back. Relax through the back of your neck. And remember, your downward dog position, I just swept, and my mat is somehow covered in dust. Oh well, now you know. Now you know what's going on with my mat. Let's come back to the body. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale, pull forward to high push-up. So as I was saying before I got distracted by the dust, is if you are still unsure about your downward dog placement, for now, just go to a high push-up, and it should be about the same distance to just shift back. Might be a little bit longer or shorter depending on what feels good in your own body. That'll give you a rough estimate. We're just hanging out in downward dog, pedaling the feet back and forth to feel into the legs, warm up through the wrists, the shoulders, however feels good. And as we've practiced in previous classes, if you'd rather do that on hands and knees, shift through cat-cow, side to side, whatever you need, please make that accessible for you. So remember, it never really matters what I say, but more, how does it feel in your own body and what is right for you right now? So I teach a lot of intuition, and even in yoga, can we tap into what is good for our own bodies? And if what I'm suggesting feels great, awesome. But if you need something different, definitely honor that. All right, one more breath in. Breath out, press through your feet. Inhale, look forward and step or walk your feet to meet your hands. Feet hip width apart for this one. Breathe in, find your halfway lift. When you need to breathe out, fold right back down. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Arms are going to reach up towards the sky. Look up at your thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart center. Perfect. We'll go through a sun A all together. Your inhale reaches those arms straight up. Look up at your thumbs. Use the breath out to fold forward. Fingertips to the ground. Relax to the back of the neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Keep the length. Plant your palms, high push-up. Take one extra breath in high push-up to get that energy and that strength. Squeeze through all your muscles. Crown of your head pulls forward. Heart pulls forward. Lower down no more than halfway. Upward facing dog. Press through the tops of your feet. Shoulder blades squeeze back. Heart open. Breath in. When you need to breathe out, tuck those toes. Squeeze the core. Up and back. Full breath in. Full breath out. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remember that Ujjayi breath we practiced a few weeks ago if you want to incorporate that. So we're closing a little bit through the back of the throat, kind of like you would make an HA sound to fog up a mirror, but with the mouth closed. One more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward with your right foot. Take a big step forward, or a few little steps. Halfway lift. Breath in. Exhale, fold down. Press through your feet. Inhale, reach your arms wide. This time, reach all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart, center. Beautiful. One more. Inhale, reach up, look up. On your exhale, fold forward. Fingertips to the floor. Breath in, halfway lift. Keep that length. It's like your upper body is ready for its high push-up position. And all you're doing is stepping your feet back to finish the pose. Next breath out, you're going to pull forward or push with your toes. Lower down no more than halfway. Knees lower when you need. Upward facing dog. Heart lifts. And we're never really jamming our neck back. We're just lifting the crown of our head, and maybe the head starts to arc back in line with the rest of the spine. Downward dog when you're ready. Breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then in your downward dog, your fingers press strong. Your whole palm, your heels are going to reach towards the floor, but knees can be a little bit bent. Your heels never really need to make it to the floor. Sometimes mine reach, sometimes they don't. And both of those are really okay. It depends what's going on in your back body. Bend the knees if you need to. Butt bones are up, just so that if you're hyper flexible, backwards. If you're hyper flexible, then maybe don't tilt your butt bones up and go more for that upside down V shape. But most of us start off a little bit tight and round. So if that's the case, the butt bones tilting up can help bring you into that V shape. So just kind of check in with your body and think, am I a little bit rounded in my low back? Am I kind of sinking way through? So I don't even know if I'm a good example because I don't have that natural flexibility. Take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. Any flexibility you see comes from the practice. All right, look forward, step forward. Halfway lift. Fold forward. I remember when I first started yoga training, arms up to the sky. I think my hands like touch down to my knees in terms of flexibility. Hands to heart center. All right, we're going to go through, and now we're going to work on alignment in our hips when we open up posed sideways. Arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Real quick, I'll show you what my forward fold looked like when I started yoga. So if you're ever if you're ever starting and you don't feel flexible and you're like, oh, this is too hard, this is too much on my body, I can't do it. I started right here, and it comes over time. Your body will loosen up if that is your goal. Even if it's not your goal, just the more we stretch, then the body, little bit by little bit, feels safer in the new position, and that's what allows the stretching. So again, we come back to our deep breath. Can we take a deep breath in forward fold? We're going to hang out in forward fold for a bit. And when we have that deep breath, it's signaling your body it is okay to relax. So this is why yoga is actually good for flexibility. We'll have a whole month on flexibility, but just real quick, if you are tight, the more you can stay relaxed and the deeper you can breathe will do wonders for opening up the flexibility. Just in case somebody needed a little flexibility, moral support. Breath in, halfway lift. Keep that length, plant your palms, high push up. From there, heart forward, crown of your head forward, pull forward, lower down no more than halfway. Upward facing dog when you're ready. Same thing we worked on last week, just a little refresh. When you need to breathe out, downward dog. Perfect. Now the left foot's going to stay planted. Use an inhale breath to stretch the right toes as high as you can manage. Now look at your left leg. Say hello, left leg. Bend the knee. Now open this right hip. Squared off, our foot would be dropped a little lower. Can you open the hip and almost stack that right hip on top and see what that change is going on in your left hip and thigh? Now bend this right leg, foot towards your butt. Can you lift this right knee higher? Take a deep breath in. So now we have this open hip stack. Full breath in. Exhale, bring your right knee to your nose. Plant the foot down. And lower your back foot flat, both hands on the inside for now. You're going to set up warrior two, but really slowly. So our front toes face forward. This right knee can come as far forward to be right over that ankle. So you notice it's kind of in line with my arm right now. Doesn't have to be exact, but that might happen for you. The back foot, toes are straight out to the side. We're actually going to bend both knees, and can you stick your butt straight out behind you and notice if this allows this hip to open up. Just imagine there's like a little door or a little hinge. You're just opening up that hip by allowing that knee to bend. And now come all the way up to standing. From there, let's straighten out that back leg, sink into the front knee, and feel what you feel. Don't worry about your arms for now. Just notice your legs. Take a deep breath in and out if you need to. And again, come back to your feet. What do you feel going on in your feet? Can you press through that back pinky toe edge? Can you press through all four corners of the front foot and bring more weight into the front by bending into that front knee? Now, do you feel that firing up through your thigh? Can you squeeze the inner thigh? Can you squeeze the back inner thigh? And from there, do you notice anything happening in your core? So when we draw our feet towards one another, well, that really fires up the inner thighs. And remember, we talked about this a week before, where that helps kick into your core. Now we have lots engaged, and we're just standing here in what looks like a very simple posture, but it should be pretty, I don't want to say intense, but there should be a lot going on. If it is intense, that's okay. Just feel. So from there, what is our warrior? Our inhale lifts up the chest. We find that strength, that energy. Our exhale grounds through both feet. So it's like we're building up this energy, and then instead of just having it build and build and build, let's disperse it somewhere. Exhale, ground through the feet. Perfect. One more. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, this time extend through both arms. So this is another way your energy lines can move. If you work with me for Reiki or energy, we shift your energy a lot, and you notice you'll feel lighter after. So we're clearing that energy from your body, and you can do this in yoga. So we're going to start practicing that a lot. Feel through your feet. Ground, and we are stable. Inhale, cultivate that energy, lift up through the heart. Exhale, expand through both arms. Perfect. And traditionally, your warrior pose, our hips and shoulders are open to the side. And from there, really open up through the collarbones. And then we're going to face forward over that front foot. And even my leg likes to do it because it's a tough pose. So the longer you're in it, your leg might be like, just going to back out a little. It's easier. So check, can you bring that knee over that thigh? And when you want to back out, kind of talk to it and be like, what am I running from? If you're about to pull a muscle, back off, take a break. But if it's just uncomfortable, can you take a deep breath and stay? Let's stay for 2 more breaths and notice whatever discomforts come up. Maybe it's in your arms or shoulders now. Can you breathe? Can you tell your body it's okay? It is safe to be here. Safe to be in your body. Front arm reaches forward. We've practiced our reverse angle before in the breath month. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, side angle, right elbow to your thigh. There's a lot going on in the legs now. Can you even draw both feet towards one another again, kicking that inner thigh so that we're holding up with the core as we reach our chest forward over that front leg. Top arm reaches up, just one more deep breath in. Exhale, hands around the front foot. Amazing. Pop that back heel up. Step back to your high push-up. Your choice. Shift right to downward dog or pull forward, lower down. Upward facing dog. Take your time. Feel through the breath to allow the inhale to open up through the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. Whew. Perfect. Full breath in and out to reset. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Notice again your hands, your feet. Can you lengthen around the neck? Maybe even pulling your ears towards your thumbs for this down dog. And then feel into the right foot. Use an inhale breath to float the left leg high as it can go. And can you notice from a squared position, to opening and stacking that left hip. Now bend the knee, open up. Feel what you feel. Maybe bend the right knee. On an exhale, your knee towards your nose. Plant the left foot down. Good. And now both hands on the inside of that front foot. Our left toes are now facing straight forward. We're going to lower the back foot flat, right toes perpendicular, so straight out to the side wall. And then bending, actually before, let's come back. Back up. So we have our left toes facing forward and our right toes facing forward. Notice what you feel in your hips. Draw your belly to your spine a little and notice how that right hip starts to turn out as you open up that back foot. Now bend the knee and notice if that allows so much more of an opening in the hips. From there, press all the way up to warrior two. So as we start moving through more poses and you get more comfortable with warrior two, bending that back knee to come up is always a fantastic idea to allow your hip to open up. That way it creates more space, and from there, straighten the back leg. Feel that strength through both feet. Check on that front thigh. Can you sink into the knee? And then breathe. Notice what you feel going on in your legs before you worry about the arms. Can you press through the back pinky toe edge? Ideally, our back toes aren't facing towards the back. They are either perpendicular to the front foot, parallel with the back edge of the mat, or turned in a tiny bit. But usually it's pretty parallel with the back edge of the mat. Front toes straight forward. Draw your belly button to your spine. Squeeze both feet towards one another. And that kicks in those inner thighs and your core. From there, inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, ground right back down through the feet. Another time, inhale, lift up through the heart, crown of your head. Exhale, this time, extend through both arms. And whether you notice it or not, it may be subtle, it may be really intense, but can you feel that energy shift? Even if you're creating or imagining, what would it feel like if my inhale created some energy and exhale extended it out through both arms? Just feel and play around. And then notice that left thigh. You might try to back up. So sink into that thigh. 2 more breaths. If you notice any kind of discomfort, if you physically need a break, take it. If you emotionally get a little bit of challenge, can you breathe through that challenge? This is where the deeper work of yoga is. Can we feel that discomfort emotionally? And can we stay neutral with our breath? Can we notice that emotion and not attach to it? Can we just let it go? Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up. Deep breath in, stretch. Exhale, elbow to your thigh, side angle. So again, my body likes to do the least amount of effort. So notice if you're like me and your thigh is trying to come out of it, and challenge yourself and sink forward a little bit more. That's very intense on my thigh. Top arm rolls up, reach your right arm open. Take one more deep breath in. Feel through both feet. Squeeze your feet towards one another. Really open up through the right arm. Exhale, hands down. Amazing. Hands around the front foot. Step back, high push-up. Pull forward, lower down, low push-up. Upward facing dog. And downward dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat. Hover just for a moment. Place your knees down. Untuck the toes. Have a seat on your heels. Child's pose if you want, or palms face up. Stay as still as you can for 5 breaths, just to allow your body to kind of integrate and settle down. And even though we are still, of course, there's a little bit of movement. We breathe, right? So the inhale, we're coming back to that pattern of, can you find just the tiniest bit of length on the breath in and the tiniest action of grounding on the breath out? And that grounding might just be, can I feel my shins down Can I feel my butt bones on my legs? Or maybe you're propped up on a block. Whatever you notice, breathe. One more really deep breath in. Deep breath out. Palms towards the front of the mat. Tabletop. Fingers spread wide. And whenever we come to this tabletop, can you feel even like there's these roots? I imagine these roots just like pulling from my hands. It might be, I think of Avatar. I really would love to live in their land where they're so connected to the earth. But even visually, we can do an exercise about this in another video, but what we think in the mind helps create it in the body. So if you imagine like really a rooting down sensation or just connecting to a plant, this can help your hands feel a little bit more stable and grounded. And even that energy then will be directed down to the ground. Might sound a little goofy, but it's true. Breath in, heart forward. Breath out, downward dog. Let's do the same and build on. Your left foot is going to stay stable. Inhale, reach the right leg high, bend the knee, try to stack that right hip right on top. Feel what that feels like. Bend the knee, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose and plant the foot between your hands. Now lower the back foot flat. Bend both knees and see if you can feel your hips now opening to the side for warrior two. And then press strong through both feet. Straighten the back leg. Inhale, reaches the heart up. Exhale, extend both arms. Perfect. Reverse your warrior, reach up. Instead of side angle, we're going to straighten that front leg. Exhale, come into triangle. We did this a few months ago. It's only February, a few weeks ago. Reach that right arm forward and then lower the right hand either to a shin, your block, right on the inside of that leg, or a hand on the ground. And now what we're going for here is a stretch in that hamstring, inner thigh, as well as opening up that hip. So just like warrior two, instead of having our hips face forward, we are trying to open up that hip. That's our focus for today. Top shoulder rolls open as well. So our chest and hips towards the side wall, top arm reaches up. Now breathe. 2 more breaths. Today, you're going to shift into my all-time favorite pose. As soon as I said that, I regretted it because my favorite pose shifts, but it is up there, top 3 poses. It might actually be my favorite. Curious what you just thought my favorite was. If you had a thought, write it down below after class. Curious to see if you knew. So bend into the front knee. This top arm is either reaching up, or if you're newer to this pose, don't even know what it is yet, you can have your hand on your hip for a little more stability. You're going to walk your back foot in a little bit. Our hips are staying open to the side. Bring your block with you for support. On the tallest edge, we're going to shift forward so that our shoulder, maybe not the tallest edge, maybe it's the tallest edge, but maybe you don't need that much. But our goal here is our ankle underneath our hip and enough space for a halfway lift. And from there, our right hand comes underneath our shoulder and a little bit to the right. So we have a good support system. And then that back leg, just like the 3-legged dog, we're going to lift it and stack that hip and open up to the side wall. I almost tipped over. So this is a challenging balance. So if you need your toes on the ground, or you need to hang onto a wall or a chair for support, that's a perfect place to start. Don't worry about where you are, just feel into wherever you are. And those right toes, oh my gosh, mine are doing it too. I haven't done this pose in a long time. Your right foot is going to try to turn inwards. This does not actually help you balance, so as much as you can, keep those right toes pointing straight forward. Heart pulls forward. That's the breath in where we find our length. Exhale, can you lift that back leg and stack that hip? Squeeze through the back foot, lift the back leg like there's a string on the ankle. Lift, 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 lift. Take one more deep breath in. On your exhale, both hands to the ground, either on blocks or the floor. Whoops. And slow motion, bring that leg in. Forward fold. How was that? That's half moon pose. I haven't practiced it in a while, but I think it is my favorite. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Keep the length, plant the palms, shift back to high push-up, and just downward dog. Fingers spread wide. Full breath in and out to reset. Perfect. Inhale, let's float the left leg high. Bend the knee, stack that hip. Feel what that feels like to open up through the hip. Now look forward, bring the left knee to your nose, plant the foot between your hands. Or wherever it goes, grab onto it, put it up there. Now lower your back foot flat, toes turn straight out to the side. Bend both knees, feel your hips rotate open. Come on up, warrior two. Perfect. Breath in to lift the heart. Breath out to extend through both arms. Reverse your warrior. Top arm reaches up. Remember, for reverse warrior, we are not sinking into the low back, but more how much can we extend and lift up tall? Where can we find a little bit of that mountain pose? And by that I mean, can we keep our chest open? Can we reach up? Straighten through that front leg to prepare for triangle. And then left arm comes through parallel. So arms parallel to the floor. From there, pull, left arm forward, left hand to the shin bone, or a block is a good idea on the inside of that foot. And then again, we're working on that hip and chest open to the side wall. So can we stack that right shoulder over the left, right arm up? And this is a tricky one for opening that back hip. It's a good one to practice because often in triangle, that right hip tries to dip down, or maybe our low back is tight. So where can we open up through that right hip? And how does that change what's happening in your left leg? Maybe you need a micro bend in your left knee so you don't lock the knee. And even my left shoulder, do you see how it's by my ear? It's not ideal. So maybe you can relax the left shoulder a little. And that may be that you need a little more space for your hand to go down. Ah, yeah, that fixed it for me. Breathe. Then shifting into half moon. Top arm can stay up or hand to the hip bone. Look down. Bend into the front knee and walk your back foot in a few inches. We're going to take this left hand. It will come roughly about a foot in front, 6 inches off to the left. But really what we're going for is, can we have our hip over that ankle with a halfway lift, length, and then wherever our hand needs to be for support. A bit off to the left is good for that balance. And then heart pulls straight forward. And that right hip, remember we're trying to stack. So can we stack that right hip, open it, and notice what we feel going on in the leg. And if it doesn't open all the way, that does not matter. We're building strength, and we're building strength and flexibility and mobility in that hip. Squeeze your back leg, even the outside of the leg. Imagine there's a string, and can you lift that up? Now breathe and balance. And remember, if and when you tip over, that's okay. Just come on back, have a deep breath. Or the other way, have a deep breath, and then come on back. If you don't need the block, you can always do this with your fingertips down. But even for me right now, I'm kind of tight. I prefer the block to make sure I can get my heart forward and even that right shoulder rotating open, top arm up. One more super deep breath in. Exhale, start to close that right hip, right shoulder down. Woo. All the fingertips to the floor, and then both feet down. I don't know why I just sang that, but hopefully it was okay. Breathe in, halfway lift. Open up your mouth, breathe out. Our first squat. Breathe in, halfway lift. Turn your toes out to the sides. And then if squatting is new, you can grab your block, maybe 2 blocks, however you want to be. Put your butt bones on it and have a seat up. Maybe get 2 blocks. This isn't very stable. You could sit like this. If you are a seasoned squatter, you're just going to drop your butt right between your heels. If your heels pop up, that's okay. Over time, coming back to this, will build that flexibility in your feet, your ankles, and your back, and hamstrings, everything. Squat is really, really good for health. So we're going to work on building that in the upcoming months. But for now, if you need to rest on blocks, rest on blocks. 2 more breaths. One more really deep breath in. Really deep breath out. Just to make sure we can get out of it the same way, or even if you can't, no worries. We'll just practice it over the next few months. Hands down, shifting that weight forward. Press through your feet, come back to your forward fold. Feet hip width with your toes facing forwards. Halfway lift. Keep that length. Plant your palms. High push-up. Well done. Let's hold high push-up for a moment. Fingers spread wide. You can have your knees down like I'm doing right now. Draw your belly button to your spine. As much as your heart pulls forward, your heels pull back. Even if your knees are down, you're going to see if energetically you can pull your heels back and your heart forward at the same time. So I'm going to have my knees down for this. And to shift forward to low push-up, see how I'm walking my knees forward. You can walk your knees forward if you need some space to lower them no more than halfway. And then I'll do a baby cobra. You can do upward dog if you want. Since I did with my knees down, I'm just going to draw my heart forward, feet pressed down. On the exhale, table or downward dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Breathe in. Knees lower. Tabletop. Do a few cat-cows. The breath in is going to lift the head and the heart and the butt bones. And then breath out. Remember that one time we were drawing our butt bones to the backs of our knees. We're going to start from there. So we get this round action starting from the lower back. And then it creeps up, rounds through the middle back, upper back. Tuck our chin last. Starting from the low back again, or the tailbone. Can you tilt your tailbone up? And roll through. One more. Butt bones towards the backs of your knees. Round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, last one round. Untuck your toes, butt back, either to child's pose, forehead resting down, or same position we were in before to rest. Can sit straight up, palms face up. Either way, finding stillness to just be with your breath. Being present with your body. And while we are here, noticing 3 brand new in the sense you haven't thought about it in the last month, 3 new things to be grateful for about your own body. So maybe the way that you caught a balance for a bit. Maybe the way it was trying to hold a balance. Maybe the intelligence of how your knee bending automatically let the hip open. Anything that is new for you to be grateful for about your body. Literally anything. Take a moment to feel into that gratefulness. So we start to notice how wonderful and intelligent our bodies are. a lot of yoga. And what I love about yoga is it's staying so neutral to whatever is, because that's where we come to that place of peace. But in our lives, we automatically will search out for what is wrong before we see what is good by our nature. And that's okay. It's how we're designed. However, a lot of my work is helping people break that pattern of depression, break that loop of seeing the negative, of feeling what's wrong, of feeling what's weighing them down. So super simple practices like this, can you notice where to be grateful for? Helps to rewire your brain, helps to reprogram really the software of your brain so that you start to see the good, not just in your own yoga practice, but throughout the day. In case you were wondering why we did that little exercise. If you weren't wondering, fun fact as a bonus. You can even add it to your daily routine as soon as you wake up, noticing 3 things that are new to you to be grateful for. Let's add one more just for fun. I'm grateful that the method of YouTube lets me connect with new people. I'm grateful for the people I already know, but if I'm looking for something new, I'm grateful for the new people too. It's an amazing channel. Full breath in where you are. Full breath out. And then coming onto your butt. If you're in child's pose, sit up onto your butt with your feet out in front, hip width apart, and fingertips will be towards your butt. If that's too much on your wrist, just angle them out to the side at whatever part you need for it to be comfortable on your wrists. But working towards fingertips to your butt, and then check on how the shoulders feel. We're going to lift up through the chest. Already, this might be big enough to stretch on your hands and arms. I'm doing a lot of massaging lately, so for me, this is kind of intense. I might angle my fingers a tiny bit out. Yeah, press through your feet, lift up through the hips. A little stretch in the shoulders. If it doesn't bother your neck, you can start to drop your head back. 2 breaths. Butt down. Sit up and left foot out a little. Flex the right foot, bring it in, cross it over. Knee opens up wide. So I believe next week we're going to do our hip openers. Even more intense than we did today. I guess we were opening the hip today, but we'll do this angled motion on next week alignment. But for today, just remember foot flexed, chest up, drawing that left foot in or walking your hands up to get that stretch in that outer thigh. If you see I'm doing this little rock side to side, you can shift side to side if it feels good. Remember, whatever is better for your own body, so it might feel good to stay really still. Breathe. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Uncross. Right foot down. Flex that left foot. Cross it right over your thigh. Flex the foot. Open up the knee wide. So flexing, of course, means toes back towards the knee. Spread them wide. That flexion. And then opening up the knee. Can't see it, but really we're drawing this thigh away from us. And then maybe rock side to side. Maybe stay centered. If you notice you can't feel it a lot, or you started to feel it but then it goes away, check if you're rounding. Rounding will take the stretch away. So it's about that tailbone tilt. As we lift up through our chest, that automatically shifts our tailbone so that we get deeper into the hip. A few more breaths. Perfect. Unhook. Real quick. Soles of your feet together, knees out. Take a deep breath in where you are. Lift your heart. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Knees together, feet flat. Grab onto the backs of your thighs and round on the way down. One twist before we end. So let's roll on to the right hip. Oh, it feels good. And then scoot your shoulders back. Left arm reaches way up. Remember, we worked on twists last week. So we're going to reach up and then open through that top arm. Face maybe towards the left. We're not pressing that knee down. We're just letting gravity do its work. Breathe. Back through center. Dropping the knees to the left. So we're fully on that left hip. Scooting our shoulders back. Reach up and open. And staying in the twist a little longer if you're comfy. Saying that because I just had the thought of staying for a nap. Come back through center. Lift the hips up. Unroll. Feet out to the corners. Feet side to side. Palms face up for your Savasana. Settling in as still as you can manage after you get your initial adjustments and wiggles out. Have a full breath in all the way down to your lower belly. So try to expand the lower belly as much as you can. And then exhale, breathe out. Sinking into the floor, your mat or blanket or whatever you are on. Relax the jaw. Relax your shoulders. And breathe. Letting that breath fall to a normal pattern. Whatever feels best for you. Take 2 more breaths. Relaxing even more through the shoulders or hips, or anywhere else your body might be holding on to a little extra tension. Remember, the best thing about home practice, if you need more time in Savasana and you have the availability, take it. Otherwise, when you are ready, bringing movement into your hands, your toes. Take a full body stretch if you want. Rolling onto one side, traditionally the right, as I go to the left. And that top palm, pause for a moment to press down. Remember imagining that rooting, that grounding sensation. Connect. Connection is such a deep human need. And often when we have codependent relationships or we crave connection that we're not really getting, we can come back to, where can I find connection within myself and also with nature around me? And that can help fill up a lot of that need. Then when we get that external connection, it's just fulfilling and fun versus that place of urgency and fear. So we're always connecting back to ourselves, connecting to the ground, and depending on your beliefs, what the universe is, connecting to that higher above as well. And even right now, can you connect even deeper with your own breath? For 2 more breaths. Palms together. Take that moment again for yourself to notice, honor, and appreciate. And then we do the exact same for each other. Notice, honor, and appreciate. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you made it to the end, well done. Amazing. And feel free to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It helps a lot. I would love to see it. And definitely let me know in the comments how this was for you. How did Half Moon go? Were you balanced? Are you still working on the balance? And remember, it never really matters about the balance, but how are we showing up? How do we feel in each moment of it? There is no good or bad or right or wrong. We just feel. Let me know how this practice was for you, and thank you for being here. I'll see you next week.